Hey class, and welcome to this week's lesson, Lesson 2. I hope that you had a good first week and that it was fairly easy to get back into the swing of things with this being your second semester of Pathway. You were hopefully able just to jump right in and get going. Thanks for getting your assignments in. I'm still getting through some of those introductory assignments that you sent me, the ones I have been able to read and respond to. It's great to see. It's fun seeing your where you're from, a little bit about you, and then also getting to answer your question that you have for me. So I'll keep getting through those. I should probably have those done by Wednesday this week. One quick note, I just kind of wanted to talk about the course in general, not necessarily anything to do with Lesson 2 before we jump into Lesson 2 stuff, is emails. When you send me an email, one thing I want to ask you to do is make sure that you put your full name at the end of the email. And the reason why is I'm not 100% sure how this happens. I don't know if when you create your Canvas profile, there's like a name you'd rather go by or something like that. But for some reason, the name that's like associated with the email, like up at top, you know, when it says like from so-and-so or whatever, isn't always necessarily your name that's in my gradebook. And so sometimes when people are asking me to go look at their assignment or check this or something, it makes it hard because it's like the name on the email or that's tied to like the email address or something doesn't associate in the gradebook. So please just always put your full name at the bottom of your emails. That way if you're asking me to go look something up, I guess if you're just asking me kind of a general question, then that's probably not needed. But if you're needing me to go like look at something or fix a grade or take a late penalty off, then I need to know your full name. So that's just a little thing. With that, let's go ahead and jump into Lesson 2. This video should be much shorter than last week. And yeah, so this week, one of the things that you'll be doing is picking your certificate for Pathways. And this is important because it's really going to set up what course you're going to take next semester. So take some time to research the different certificates, what's available, what interests you. I think that's probably the biggest thing, you know, what do you want to do in the future? And then you get to pick that this week. If you need to know more about that, I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I'm not super familiar with it. It's something that they've kind of told us, instructors of the courses, you know, if they need more guidance and help, have them reach out to Pathway Connect. And there's people that can help you more with that. I really kind of focus on the course content of this semester, and so I don't get super involved with that. So if you have questions, though, I mean, feel free to reach out to me. I can always try, and if you can't find answers somewhere, then I can try. So the next thing I want to talk about is your application activity this week. So this one's a great one, and you're going to be starting your resume. This is huge. Resumes are so important. They're what you use to apply for jobs. They're kind of like your future employers, kind of their first glimpse to you. So it's really important to have that resume, to have it updated and to have it accurate and have it have relevant information. So for this week, we're going to take 2 weeks though to do your entire resume. So don't worry, we're not doing the whole thing this week. This week, we're just working on, sorry, I have to look at my notes here so to remember. We're just working on the first portion of the resume. So not even getting into like work experience and stuff. And so if you take a look at the assignment, you'll see which parts you'll be filling out. Some of your background information, some just kind of your opening paragraph, that kind of stuff. Sorry, I'm reading my notes again. One thing, when you're doing this resume, make sure that you base it around the job posting that you found last week. And that's important because you don't really want to have just a generic resume. Like I guess I shouldn't say you don't want to. I have a generic resume, I should say. But anytime I apply for a position, I try and look at that resume and I'll change it. Not because necessarily things like I'm lying, you know, like, oh, I got to put on there what's good. It's just I want to, like, I have lots of experience across different fields and doing stuff. And so it doesn't really make sense to put all of it on there because the job I'm applying for might not really require all of it. Even though it's experience I've had, if it's not relevant, it's not really that needed to put on there. You know, like, I mean, for example, I've driven forklifts, I've, you know, done some stuff like that with machinery, but the positions I've been applying for lately in my career doesn't really require that, so I'm not going to put that kind of stuff on there. But let's say I was going for a position that, you know, I saw in the requirements was that needed to be forklift certified. Then I would put that on there. So it's not necessarily that you're trying to make your resume, you're lying on it or anything like that. In fact, you never want to do that, right? Because you'll get caught if you do that. But you want to make sure that the job experiences and the information that you're putting on there is relevant to the person that's trying to hire you. So that's why I base it off your job posting from last week, just to kind of get in that practice. And we'll, like I said, we'll do half of it this week. We'll do the second half of it next week, and it's great. I guess just a quick little plug about resumes in general. The reason why they're so important is, like I was saying, they really are the first glimpse of you. The position that I'm in at my current full-time job, I'm a director, so I hire people fairly often. And even just in these last couple of months, I've been hiring a few people, and you know, I put a job posting out there and I get 20 plus applicants. I don't know these people. I mean, literally the only thing I have to go off of is their resume. And so the people I bring in for an interview, it's the ones that had the good resumes, that they had the skills I was looking for. And even a little bit of the formatting of the resume plays into there. You know, there's sometimes people, I can tell they just really didn't put a whole lot of thought into making their resume. And so it's kind of like, well, you know, resume is really not too hard to do. And if you're not going to put a lot of thought into that, what does that kind of say about that person? Not saying they're bad people or anything, but you know, those are just kind of the thoughts. I just wanted to give you that kind of insight. Those are kind of the thoughts of hiring managers. And so make sure you take the time. This assignment's really nice because it's got a template for you. In fact, you're required to use that template for this course. Out of this course, if you want to go away from the template, that's great. But I think it's a great template. It's professional looking. It's good looking. Use that, you know, after this course, save that, keep it on your computer so in the future you can keep using it. But resumes really do help you get your foot in the door. Then from there, you know, it's all about, you know, you use the resume to get to that first phone interview or that first in-person interview. And then from there, you know, it's all up to you. Then your personality can come out and all that, and that can help you get the job. But the resume is the first step. So I'm glad that we're starting this course off with that, because it really is very important in your professional career. Other than that, we have some math this week. We're really just going to be reviewing some of the stuff from PC 101. So hopefully a lot of that's a refresher and not too bad. If you have questions though, always feel free to reach out. Okay, I hope you all have a great week, and we'll see you next week.